Welcome back to another edition of Health Hack. For the next few episodes, I'm going to be talking about hair and hair loss because that has been more frequent that I've been being asked about it, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I'm going to be talking about hair loss for men and then also hair loss for women because that is what I'm seeing even more of in recent times. But first, I just want to talk about what's normal and the normal hair growth phase. So it's normal for us to have about 100,000 hairs on our head. And our hair growth phase is in 3 phases. So there's the anagen phase, which is a 6 to 8 year phase that can wildly vary from person to person. And hair grows about 1/4 of an inch a month, or 6 inches a year if you're somebody that your hair grows quite quickly. So from this hair growth phase, some hairs on your head will be in that phase. Some hairs that are getting to the end of the hair growth phase will be going into the catagen stage. And this is a transition stage where it stops growing and it's actually getting ready to be falling out and making room for new hair. And that is totally normal. And then your hair goes into the telogen phase, which is the resting phase. It is essentially shedding. About 10 to 15% of all hair is in this stage at any given time, and it is totally normal to be losing 50 to 100 hairs per day. And I know I do when I'm combing it out in the shower in the morning. This phase can last 2 to 5 months, sometimes up to 9 months, where it may seem like your hair is starting to thin. Now, here's the reason why we've seen an increase particularly in women, being concerned about hair loss in the last year. It's because viral or bacterial illness induced by a high fever, it actually puts a big stress on the body as the body is trying to fight off that virus. And the body shifts into repair stage, a slowing phase, and into that telogen phase. And so it increases the speed at which some hairs get into that telogen phase. And rather than it just being 10 to 15%, you have more hairs in that phase as a result of the virus that's been triggered by the fever. And so this can then, you notice this about 1 to 3 months after the virus, and this shedding stage can last 5 to 9 months. So I just want you to be aware of that because it's not something to panic about. I know losing your hair, especially as a woman, can be very scary, but there's definitely a lot of things that we can do to slow that hair loss and start to get the body growing more hair again. And so that's what the next few episodes are going to be about. And I am very fortunate. I've got a lot of hair on my head. In fact, my stylist says she has to book extra time because I have a lot of really fine hair and it looks thick, but it's not. It's just that I have so many hairs. And I've definitely noticed how the health of my hair has improved as the health of my body has improved as I have been working on optimizing my health for the last 7+ years since I stepped into this journey of health and wellness. So we definitely can be improving the health of our hair, improving the number of hairs on our heads, and we just need to know how. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing starting with my next episode. So come back and join me. And if you have any questions, if hair loss is a concern for you, please feel free to reach out. Just email me at melissa@yourguidedhealthjourney.com.